So you want to quit your job and you have fear. Well, guess what? I did too. We're going to talk about it. 2020 August, I was sitting, I want to say on my couch, and contemplating this job that I had and a lot of the difficulties that were occurring on that job, the different emotions I was experiencing on that job, from anxiety to depression, you name it. And there were moments of joy as well, but I just felt like it was really, really weighing heavy on me. And it was during the pandemic. So that paint that picture. We were all working during the pandemic, and then all of a sudden, boom, they sent everybody home. So I remember working from home for a while and still having even more anxiety and even more depression because I was pretty new at the job. So I really didn't have everything fully grasped. And previous to that, the job that I had, I was there for several years, upper management, everybody calling your name, hey, we need this, we need that, great reputation, the whole nine. So to go from that to feeling like, you're here, I dealt with it. But, you do what you got to do. You learn. And I said, okay, we'll get it down and then we'll be climbing on up and rise to the top like I've always done in my military career. And just everything that I've done, I've always been able to rise to the top. So, man, I woke up that morning and sitting on the couch, and you always had to log in to like these morning meetings, let's just say at 8 o'clock. And it was just like, man, it was the hardest thing in the world to do, to log in. And, I've been praying about it, and literally, I remember hearing that voice saying, resign. Yeah, so what happens? Fear grips you, right? Because you're saying, okay, I'm making this money, you're making around $90,000 a year or whatever. And I was even doing another side hustle, bringing in, 12, 13, 14, something like that. But either way, over $100,000. And I was ready to put my 2-week notice in. And that same, fear gripped me. And it was just like, oh man, what am I going to do? I can't do that, man. This is good money. It's with the federal government. And literally, it's almost take an act of Congress to get fired. And I've never been anywhere near being fired. I've always done my job, to the highest level. So that was never a concern. But it's just like in 2 weeks, that money will be gone. And, I know a lot of people think about that. They would leave their job today if it weren't for the financial implications. How many of us really are doing things work-wise that we really love, that we really want to do? I would say the numbers are pretty low. Have some tea. Or coffee or whatever you drink. Sit with me. So it's normal, to have those feelings when you're not doing something that you love and enjoy. I guess if you loved and enjoyed it, you wouldn't necessarily walk away from it unless you just wanted to try something totally new, at a new chapter in life. And then for me being 51 years old now, I knew it was time to shift. I had a newborn 1-year-old and a 6-year-old. And we were gonna do the homeschool thing because the pandemic had hit and there was so much uncertainty out there. So what do? Keep getting the money, send the kids to school. What do you do? And my wife having her own business, she was able to work from home, with her own business. So it was me that needed to cover the time to where she had to do her thing on the computer, the kids. So I resigned, I put that 2-week notice in, I sent it to HR. And when I tell you, immediately a weight came off of my shoulders, but I kind of just, in this moment, just thinking about that fear again. And that fear that grips all of us, but most of us would never put that 2-week notice in, because of that fear. Now what helped me get over that fear? Having a plan, a financial plan. Previous to me taking that job some years before, we had gone through the Dave Ramsey plan, and we paid off $123,000 in debt in 23 months. And we started saving money as well, putting something in the corner. And at the time, it was not a financial concern immediately because we had the savings and we didn't have debt other than the home. So I was able to much easier make a decision based on facts. Because a lot of times we make decisions based on feelings. Fear, feelings, not facts. So making that decision based on facts on paper, I could see, well, we could make this move. And I knew at the time I had already been doing some consulting on the side a few years, business consulting and whatnot. And I said, well, this will give me more time to do that. And literally, God opened up a door immediately for me to walk right out of that job into a consulting, I'm gonna say gig, a consulting gig with a local trucking company. And they were, so gracious to bring me in, allow me to do my thing, do my assessments of processes, staff, workflows and whatnot. And I left them better than when I got there. And they were better staff. They were using better technology. It was a win-win situation. I was able to win by able to make some money doing consulting. And again, this was in 2020. And we started the consulting firm around 2014, officially 2018, as far as like IRS paperwork and stuff like that. But it gave me an opportunity to do something that I was passionate about, helping others. And man, there's no greater feeling when you're able to help other people and make money at the same time. So that was a wonderful thing. But that fear, I want to encourage people to know that it's normal to have fear when you're talking about quitting your job, walking away from your 9 to 5. And it's also, it is advisable to have a plan. And if you don't have a plan right now, what are you waiting on? Go ahead and write down that plan now. What could you see yourself doing that you believe you can make money when you transition out of this job? When you quit, walk away, resign, or whatever term you want to use, what are you planning on doing to bring income in? Is it YouTube? Well, start to YouTube now. Make a video every day, 2 videos a day. Be yourself, have some fun, talk about different experiences in life. Just like I'm sitting here talking about, the fear that I had when I walked away from the job, and even having the debt paid off, it still was fear. Because I'd always, worked a job my whole life, from working at Burger King when I was in high school to being in the military, went straight into the military, having a job. And even then, I worked at Old Navy part-time. I worked at Foot Locker part-time. I always made great use of my time by working, additional jobs. So this was the first time in my life where I was walking away from a job. First time I, resigned, from the workforce, to literally become a stay-at-home dad, which time has passed now from that period, from 2020 to 2024. Now, both of my kids are in school, and I'm an entrepreneur. I have a transportation company, and our consulting firm, has grown, and we're able to manage both, with staff. I have a partner in the transportation company, and I'm partnering with other individuals doing consulting, including my wife. Now she's on the team as well, and we got some really, really good things coming that's going to help a lot of people, especially a lot of disadvantaged people, which my heart tends to flow there more than anywhere else. So if you want to quit that job, you're thinking about quitting that job, and that fear is gripping you, take a deep breath, sip on some tea, coffee, pray, ask God to lead, guide, and direct your path, and you'll have the answer.